Okay, why was my mic off on OBS? That's weird. I don't know. Anyway, what I was trying to say, I was supposed to be in here yesterday, and had to miss out because it got to like 10:15 or something, and I got a message from, you still have no sound? Do y'all have sound now? Hello? Is the sound there? It's showing that there is sound on my end. Let me know if you all have sound. Microphone okay, sweet. Tight. There we are. What I was trying to say is I was supposed to be in here yesterday, and Sissy sent me a message at like 10:15 from work saying that she got jumped on by one of the bigger dogs and was having like chest pains and trouble breathing and stuff like that as a result. And so we had to rush them to the hospital to the urgent care, I guess, to just get checked up on. And Sissy's doing pretty good, but still in pain. The doctor told them to do a little bit of rest and take some ibuprofen, shit like that. But that no going back to work. So that took us that was a 5-hour ordeal yesterday. I left the house at like 10:15 and we didn't get back until after 3. So I wasn't able to stream yesterday because I had last minute edits that I needed to take care of on my Halloween script that I was hoping to get done before streaming yesterday, but couldn't because Sissy was, Sissy was hurt. So I had to do those when I got home, and then spent the evening shooting half of that, and I'll be shooting the other half tonight, which is why the lighting in here is weird, because my ring light that's usually right here behind the computer is in the other room. Excuse me, because I didn't want to mess up the lighting continuity and stuff like that. So that's why I wasn't here yesterday, but I'm here today. And it looks like you all are here today as well. So let me pop in. Let me read some of the comments. We got Jameg Blake. Is your name actually Jameg, or is it just a misspelling of James? That's an interesting name. Can't wait. Hell yeah. Been a while since I joined a stream. Well, we're glad to have you here, Omni Mushroom. Let's see. Miss Martian's in the chat. Hey. Wowie has come to make an important announcement, and I missed it because the chat scrolled. Come to make a very important announcement. Red Bull tastes okay. It's all right. I'm not a big fan of energy drinks anymore. I have been drinking these Bragg apple cider vinegar refreshers. Specifically, the honey and green tea one is really good. It's not sponsored, but Bragg, if you're out there in the chat, hit me up. Let's do something. But yeah, Red Bull's all right. I feel like usually when I do energy drinks, it's Monster. But like I said, I just don't do them too much anymore. There we go. There's the ones about the sound. Outset sounds painful. Yeah. Having to rest. And the thing that sucks about it all is the reason this stream is titled Last DCAU Book Club Stream is because we're moving next week. So it will be the last stream in this place, in this space. And I don't know when we're gonna be back from the little hiatus that's gonna have to happen. Because we're gonna have to get set up and get settled in at the new apartment down in Oregon. But I'm excited about it. Sissy's excited about it. But God, moving's gonna be bad if they're still in pain in a couple days. I'm gonna have to put everything in the truck all by myself, and I'm not looking forward to that. Let's see. It's all good. Hopefully everybody else understands. Well, that's good. That's good. Y'all are the best. Oh, hello, Jan1's Gaming. Welcome to the chat. The end of an era. Yeah, absolutely. I've got to take down the Superman poster that we put up earlier this year on stream. I gotta find a place to put that in the new location. I'm kind of bummed because we thought that the apartment that we were moving into was a 2-bedroom, but come to find out that was actually another apartment from the same people that wasn't available till later. That's like similar size, but it's the other one had a full, extra bedroom that I was gonna set up as a studio. So now we're gonna have to figure out all of the dynamics of that whenever we move down. But it's a month-to-month lease, so like if this spot doesn't end up working out for us, at least we're in town already and can look for things from there. Real quick, before we get into the book at all, my brother's band just dropped a brand new music video. They're a metal band, like heavy fucking shit, and the video's really cool. Is that something that like y'all would be interested in seeing if I stream that at some point in stream? I don't know, before the book, after the book, something like that. I really want to show it off because goddamn, it's such a fucking cool video. Like, they are putting in work. They're doing a lot of stuff that I haven't seen in the metal and hardcore scene, and like incorporating elements of ska and like I guess I don't know what the other genres are, but like they're really just like putting a lot of stuff in there. There's like a little bit of 311 in it. It's nuts, and I would love to share it with y'all if that is something that that y'all would be down for. Darkest Night read along, sign me up. Hell yeah, glad you're here, Samus. Malcolm says sure. Next book club, instead of reading DCAU books, we'll have to read completely unrelated murder mysteries each chapter and theorize how Batman would have solved the murder. I have a book called Mystery Cats. I've got 2 different volumes of it that like I could show you or read with y'all or whatever. I'm a metal fan. Sounds good to me. First, give me metal riffs and we'll see. All right, fuck it. Let's do it. Let's show off. Let's show off the new Blind Tiger music video. I gotta pull it up on YouTube real quick. I think the thing that's like most exciting about this to me is like, I legitimately enjoy it like outside of being related to my brother who is in the band, but B, my brother who's in this band and their drummer are also in my band, and we're talking about actually doing more music. We recorded 2 songs last summer, and we're just trying to like get the logistics worked out of doing the music situation while I am living across the states. But so with how good this is, like, I'm excited for what that means for what we could have in store. Moving to, the movers are going to look at my 20 short boxes of comics and like 30 or 40 boxes of graphic novels. Ain't that the truth? Band cinematic universe, pretty much. Blind Tiger seems like one of the sweetest, nicest metal bands ever. Oh, they're real sweethearts. I'm trying to remember. One of the members is I believe, is Hunter non-binary, I think. But like that was a really interesting thing to see come from them, like having known them as long as I have, and then just like all of a sudden these new music videos are dropping and they're like really expressing themselves. And they were also the director of this new one, and just did a lot of creative shit. I'm gonna turn the desktop audio on, and I'm gonna turn the YouTube audio down just a tiny bit. And boom. Oh, did you watch it already, Miss Martian? Hell yeah. All right. I'm gonna hit the play button. Can y'all hear this? That looks like it might be an action. Yeah, that's my brother right there. God, I miss playing shows with these dudes. Not bad. Singer has impressive range. Yeah, they're fucking... They're great. Listen to Cellblower and Styles of Beyond. I've heard some stuff from them, so I definitely can get more of an ear to it. Two-step. For those of you who have just joined us, this is my brother's band. They just dropped this music video like yesterday. What a fucking banger. They're going on tour soon to draw for their new album release. Let me pull the tour dates up real quick. It's playing their other song. But let me pull the tour dates up real quick. That way, if any of y'all are in the area that they're coming to, you can go check them out. Tell them you watch me on YouTube and shit. This is the dates. I will drop the link in the chat. But they're doing like a month-long fucking thing, which I'm very excited for. God, I really feel like they're about to blow up, and I'm so stoked. But yeah, I miss playing with them. We used to, because of how many of the same members are in both bands, what we used to do to save setup time on shows was we would play back to back and like one band would end with a cover song, and the vocalist from the other band would just come in, grab the mic towards the end, and just like fucking set it off at the end, just kind of hyping up whichever band we would switch off, doing who goes first every time. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. For those of you who like I said, who were just joining, that was my brother's band, Blind Tiger. They just dropped that music video yesterday. I will link that as well for those of you who might have missed it. Let me pop that in there. And let's see. Let me catch up with the little bit of chat that was going on during that, and then we'll pop over into the book. I tried to keep up, but I'm sure there was some stuff that I missed. I've joined the Reddit DCAU group. Hint, I'm the most active person over there, and I always do compilations. I haven't actually looked at the Reddit too much lately. As the channel began to grow, there was just a lot more responsibilities to take care of that I did not get to spend as much time over there, and I've kind of grown distant from it. But I will believe you that you are the most active person over there. Not bad. Singer has some impressive range. Yeah, Nick is great. Let's see. You should listen to Cell Dweller and Styles of Beyond. Yeah, I read that one already. Hey gang, how's it going? Hey Andrew, good to see you here with us. And Junji Fulmer, hello. Grungy. Yeah, they definitely had some grunge in there for sure. I love the singer's fishnet sleeves and the bassist skirt. Great look for the band overall. Yeah, they like. It's so funny to me that like they're doing like costumes and shit, because I definitely was consistently trying to talk my band, which like I said has some of the same members in it, into doing costumes when we were like more active, and they never wanted to do it. So now seeing Blind Tiger do it is just like, y'all should have listened to me a long time ago. Hope that you are well. I am doing well. I hope that you are as well. My favorite part is the change up when it gets all sludgy. Oh, for sure. Like, there's so many change ups in that. When I was watching it last night with Sissy, I was like incredibly surprised by what they were doing. Like, just great shit. Nice production value. Hell yeah. This is catchy. Hell yeah. I'm glad y'all enjoyed it. Hey Vader, how's it going? Nice reading. I know, we're trying. Wait, a Friday Maddie stream? Yeah, I explained that earlier. I didn't stream yesterday. Sissy had a little workplace emergency that ended up taking a lot of time out of my day. And so we had to move it to today. Hello, National Timely Action Hour. Guar used to do that. Most of the members were in another band called X-Cops, so they used to open for themselves. Oh, that's neat. Interview show. Hello. All right. Are y'all ready for chapters 9 and 10 of In Darkest Night? Because that's what we're gonna be doing now. Now that the Blind Tiger's over, now that I'm caught up with all of y'all, we're just gonna jump into the book. For those of you who haven't been here with us, essentially what the setup is for this is John has recently come home to Earth and joined the Justice League and everything. But he's been gone in space so long that he's kind of forgotten some stuff about the Earth. Specifically, he didn't remember what a mango was called a while back. Him and the Justice League are fighting some kind of satellite that like came to life or some shit like that. But elsewhere, far off in another galaxy, there's a group of folks who are under the subjugation of the villain, Evil Star. This motherfucker here. They've shown up in the DCAU as part of like Grodd's Legion of Doom or whatever it was called in the DCAU. And essentially, we haven't seen a lot of Evil Star yet, but they've been taking over this planet and have like a prison full of resistance, and all that kind of stuff. And there's one city on the planet left that's not under his rule. And so they decided, hey, what if we like zap Jon Stewart on Earth with like a cloning ray or something along those lines. So now there's a second Jon Stewart on this planet. And he has like none of the memories at all. But he was supposed to be programmed with memories of a life on this planet, but that didn't work out either. So he's just a little confused, but he's just like, fuck yes, I'm gonna help out. I'm gonna do whatever I need to do. And he just busted out the prison full of resistance members and all that shit. And the kicker is that thousands of years ago, these people were at war with the Guardians of Oa, and apparently, like, that was part of why the Green Lantern Corps came to be in the first place. So there's definitely some some tension there in the whole thing of what happens if this Jon Stewart finds out the truth. The Kang, sup? How's it going? My other comment might not have come through, but it is a hard G. I am just glad you are well. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that guy. Hey, have any of you guys checked out this new social media platform, Square Off? I've been making a whole bunch of polls over there. Never heard of it. Perhaps you guys can do a video on Star Trek references in the DCAU. I remember there's a few from JLU and one from Mystery of the Batwoman. That could be fun, though this most recent reference video that we did, the James Bond video, didn't do as well as we were hoping, so I don't know how soon we would do something like that. I think a lot of like what's been happening with the channel activity has just been waning interest in BTAC, and as a result, interest in JLI has been kind of iffy. And since that's the majority of what we've been doing, like, it has not been pleasing the YouTube algorithms. So, you know, once those series are done in January, we're probably going to be stepping back from like current comic coverage for a while, and just doing like, if a DCAU thing comes out, just covering it when it's done in full. But we're not certain like how much of that's been affecting the other stuff. But yeah, that James Bond video didn't do nearly as well as we were hoping, and it's kind of a bummer because it's a really fun video. I don't know a lot about James Bond, but I had a blast watching it. Your channel is insane. I just found it. Are you retiring or something? I am not retiring. Is that in regards to the stream name? What's happening is I am moving next week. So this is the last DCAU book club stream in this space, and it's gonna be the last one for a while as I get set up in the new area. But no, the channel is not going away. The streams are just kind of going on a little hiatus for a little while. Please know that we will support you in all of your future endeavors. Well, thank you. But yeah, into the book. Now that we've got all the context of the story out of the way. Chaffathia was a sprawling landscape of tall, tapering towns, one of the most impressive cities on all of Auran. But then it was the capital of Kuranathar, which was the largest and most powerful nation in the southern hemisphere, or had been until it fell to Evil Star. John didn't actually remember that information from the time prior to his head injury. However, he hadn't spent all that time studying the council's database for nothing. As he flew closer to Chaffathia, which looked like an immense blue and rose-colored island in a dark sea, he noticed the tiny white globes that represented the city's fleet of flying security devices. Before Evil Star conquered Kuranathar, the flying machines, also known as eyes, had been used by Chephathia's police force to watch for fires and other possible disasters. Now they were used by Evil Star to keep track of everything that was going on in Chephathia. Instead of helping people and saving lives, the eyes enabled the tyrant to watch for signs of disobedience, which he would, of course, crush the first chance he got. What John meant to do here could certainly be classified as a sign of disobedience. However, he didn't want Evil Star to get wind of it too quickly. He needed time to carry out his mission. Fortunately, there weren't any defense towers here as there had been at the prison. But then, why would Evil Star worry about anyone attacking Chephathia, or anything in it? Why indeed, John mused. He had barely penetrated the city's outer limits when one of the eyes swerved and came flying his way. It looked like a silver hourglass set on its side, both of its flat circular surfaces equipped with video cameras. Raising his ring, John speared the device with a stream of green energy no wider than his finger. The eye sparked, sputtered, and fell out of the sky. Almost immediately, a second eye moved toward him to take the first eye's place. He destroyed that one as well. Sounds like the way to go. I bet most people just watch content relating to the series / movies. Yeah, that seems to be the bigger draw. Is series and movie stuff, and as far as like the tie-in stuff goes, it gets a lot more recognition when it's in videos that relate, like that are about how it relates to the stuff folks already know about. Did you see that Milestone is doing animated movies? Yes, they've got one in the way. I'm really excited for it. I kinda hope that it's in the Static Shock animated style, but I feel like that's a lot to ask for, and that they're probably not going to do it because of how much like the landscape of animation has changed up in the time since then. I halfway expect it to be closer to like the Young Justice or DCAU styles, but I would really love it to be like a continuation of Static Shock that brings in all the other Milestone heroes. It would be a neat time, in my opinion. From that point on, he didn't wait for the eyes to react to him. He went after them one by one, blasting them out of the sky until there weren't any others left to blast. They might have recorded a distant image of him, maybe a general idea of what he looked like. However, they hadn't seen anything that could tell Evil Star who he was or the nature of his power. For the time being, that was how John preferred it. The less the tyrant knew about him, the easier it would be for him to carry out another mission, assuming this one turned out to be a success. Of course, Evil Star would eventually catch a glimpse of him, maybe even in person, but until then, Arian's champion would remain a mystery to him, an enemy at whom he couldn't strike back. Weaving his way along Chephathia's towers, John made his way to the heart of the city. According to the Council's database, that was where he would find what he was looking for. It didn't take him long to locate it, as a matter of fact. It would have been difficult to miss. The statue was huge, at least 1,000 feet high. If it was at least 1,000 feet high if it was an inch. That's a weird way to phrase a sentence, I feel like. Thoughts on Robert Pattinson? That trailer looks great. I'm really interested in seeing what they're doing with it. It's like, I consistently say that I'm kind of worn out on like dark, edgy takes on Batman, but this has a little bit of a different spin on it, in my opinion, than like the Nolan stuff did or the Snyder stuff did. So I'm willing to hear it out. At the very least, the trailer was just shit. Looked fucking beautiful. I have to admit, I always really enjoy you guys going through the tie-in comics from the time. Yeah, the tie-in comics are a lot of fun to deal with. We just got to figure out a way to like cover them better what you call it. Better than how we're doing it now. Let's see. It was made of something that looked like midnight blue marble with pale purple veins running through it. Marble was a mineral, John reflected. Evil Star would have to have dragged it out of the earth. To find such an immense block of the stuff, carve it, and transport it here into the midst of a crowded city must have required immense power, not to mention immense skill. Apparently, the tyrant possessed both in great abundance. Then again, he had the energy of the stars themselves on which to draw. With that kind of force at his disposal, there was precious little that Evil Star couldn't accomplish. John didn't need that much power to do what he had come here for. And as for skill, he hardly needed any. It was always easier to destroy than to build. Descending to a point directly in front of the statue's face, John stopped there and took a moment to study his enemy's countenance. He couldn't see much of it thanks to the mask Evil Star wore, which was carved into the statue as well. It concealed all but his eyes and the lower part of his face. But what John could see was instructive. A proud, jutting chin, thin lips drawn back in a wolf-like grin, an intensity in the eyes that spoke of overwhelming greed and determination. Eventually, John hoped to wipe that expression from Evil Star's face. But for now, he would have to settle for wiping it from the face of the tyrant statue. Raising his arm to shoulder height, John took aim at Evil Star's cruel features and unleashed a blast of green energy. The dark, polished stone split as if he had taken a giant chisel to it, sending fragments spinning end over end to the hard surface below. But it wasn't the result he had been hoping for. Apparently, the thing was stronger than it looked. Just started watching Young Justice. Hell yeah. I started rewatching it since season 4 dropped. When season 3 came out, Sissy and I were super excited for it, and then it felt as if it had been long enough since we had watched Young Justice that nothing was really registering with us as to what the stakes of anything was, and we were just okay, when season 4 comes out, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna binge back through everything and be prepared for it and know what's going on. So that is the plan, and we started season 1 and we're 4 or 5 episodes into it. But we're also, in the meantime, watching so many different shows. Chucky, Sarah Jane Adventures, Torchwood, Doctor Who, Aquaman, King of Atlantis. There was another one. Star Wars Visions is on the list as well. Keeping up with Bob's Burgers and stuff like that. So it's taken us a little while to get through anything. But I'm definitely excited to see the season 4 stuff. It looks great. The question mark latte made me laugh so hard. Oh, about Batman. Yeah, that was kind of funny. What was the most exciting thing from fandom for you? I'm really excited about Cape Crusaders, but the milestone stuff was absolutely a highlight. I like the trailer for the Batman, maybe not as much as the first, but still good. Didn't really tell you a lot of specific story-wise this time. Yeah, that's true. Summoning up more willpower, John drove a wedge of emerald force deep into the center of the statue's forehead. There's so much dust going on in this room right now, dust and cat hair and shit, just from us moving, that I'm gonna be scratching my nose. I'm sorry, y'all, but that's happening. This time, the head cracked in half, and both pieces fell away. When they hit the shoulders of the statue, they cracked again and became smaller pieces. Next, John went after the statue's arms, which were bent at the elbow with their hand planted arrogantly on Evil Star's hips. Severing them at the shoulder and wrist, he watched them plummet and smash to bits on the ground. By then, the crowds within a couple of blocks of the square had grown huge. The people of Chiphathia had never seen anything like this. They were drawn to the spectacle the way certain insects were drawn to an open flame. John was glad they were so interested in what he was doing. After all, that was the point of this exercise. Using his ring's energy like a knife, He sliced through the statue's waist, then he delivered a blast that slid the statue's torso off its base. As it fell end over end, John's green beam smashed... Green beam. I'm thinking about those beams. Green beam. Green beam casserole. Green beam. Y'all remember that one time we just kept pairing green people? This is the last one. This is the last one in this space. I'm guessing you just jumped in. This is the last one in this space. Sissy and I are moving next week to Oregon, and it's gonna take some time to acclimate to the new area and everything. So there's gonna be like a short hiatus. It might just be a week. It might be 2 weeks. Who knows? We're gonna have to figure out because I'm going back to work and everything as well. So we're gonna have to figure out scheduling and all that kind of stuff. But as for now, this is the last one here, and last one before a little hiatus. But we will be figuring out how to make it work going forward. I want some green beans. You and me both. Haven't really enjoyed Young Justice as much since season 3. Just feels like a slightly different show. Curious what they'll do in season 4 though. True. Sorry for the assumption. That's okay. I definitely named it that as a clickbait. So you're all good. Where was I? Green beams. John's green beam smashed it to powder and bits of debris. That left only the statue's legs. With the series of emerald energy bursts, John knocked chunks out of them. Finally, he flew up above the barely recognizable structure that was still standing and pounded it into the ground. By then, a few individuals had separated themselves from the crowd and were addressing their fellow Coronatharans. Is that okay? John swooped lower so he could hear what they were saying. He recognized one of the speakers as a man he had rescued from the prison in Deshiri. "You see?" the man shouted. "Evil Star isn't all-powerful, or he would have prevented the destruction of his statue. He can be defeated!" John smiled to himself. It was exactly the message he had meant to get across. It was good to see that word of his efforts was starting to spread around Arian. "Together," said the man who had been a prisoner, "we can be more powerful than Evil Star. We can teach him to fear us as we have learned to fear him." John felt as if he should say something himself. However, it was better to let others do the speaking for him. His legend would grow more quickly if he remained nameless. As he circled the plaza where the statue had stood, he saw individual Coronatharans lift pieces of debris and send them smashing down into other pieces. They were showing their newfound sense of defiance by following his example. Satisfied with his work there, John ascended into the empty sky and headed for home. Okay, so usually we take notes on these. I think there were a couple things to note. I think there were like 2 new locations. Chaffathia, I don't think we had yet. No, so we did not have Chaffathia as a location. And what was the other one? Coranathar. There weren't really any other notes to take. There weren't any new characters or items or in-show events or anything. Nothing to say it's not canon because it's like so far away from everything else. So I think we're good there. And now we've got Jared. Jared's back, y'all! We gotta deal with this motherfucker again. Jared stood outside of Agrain's front door and touched the metal wall pad that would announce his presence there. He had known Agrain for a long time. However, he had been invited to Agrain's home in one of the city's highest towers only once before, to celebrate the birth of the man's granddaughter. On this occasion, Jared didn't expect to do any celebrating. Even with the Green Lantern's victory in Deshiri, there was still a great deal for the council to worry about. No doubt that was why Agrain had asked him to visit. As he thought that, the door opened. "Ah," said Agrain, Thank you for being so prompt. Please, come in. Jared entered the apartment and allowed his host to lead him to a comfortable-looking chair. Agrain took one on the other side of a low-polished metal table. So, said Jared, what did you wish to speak about? Agrain's expression turned somber. I think you know what I wish to speak about. Jared did know. About Malene? Damn, that's crazy. Webcam HD XYZ will satisfy your wishes online. Guess what? Guess what? God, that's so crazy. You'll satisfy my wishes online? That's crazy. Y'all seeing this shit? They'll satisfy my wishes online. That's so crazy! Hide user on this channel. Farewell, webcam HD XYZ will satisfy your wishes online. That's nuts! I can't believe they'll satisfy my wishes online. Have y'all ever had your wishes satisfied online? What if they were a fucking genie? What if that was a genie that was just like coming in here to give us 3 wishes and I just blocked them? We could have had 3 wishes. We could have come up with a list of 3 wishes in the chat and gotten this genie to satisfy them online. Wait, do they have to be virtual wishes? Like, do I have to wish for like X amount of new like Neo points in my Neopets account, or a number of followers on Twitter? Is that the kind of wishes that we have to get? Because I was thinking like, you know, solving world hunger would be a good wish, but that's not an online wish. I wish for Yoshi to be real. Ooh. Does that count as an online wish? Yoshi is a fictional character, thus Yoshi exists within, like, the Nintendo servers. Could they take that and move it to the real world? Or does the movement to real world end up taking away from the fact that it's an online wish? I'm glad that they showed up, because I was sitting here like, what am I going to send Connor to clip out today? Guess what? It's gonna be satisfying your wishes online. I assume it's a sex thing, right? Like, they just have the squirty emojis and stuff. The squirty, God. But like, they didn't even drop a link. Like, what did they want? What did they want from us? What were they trying to do? That's exactly what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking was Johnny Thunderbolt. I'm guessing the genies have internet access now. God, I could have been Aladdin. Where were we? Where the fuck were we? We were talking about Jared, and then this genie tried to satisfy my wishes online. I think we were... God. They seek after hot singles, scouring the earth for them. I hear there are some in my area right now. A grain's expression... I'm so like sidetracked now. That was kind of out of nowhere. That's all right. We're almost done with this chapter. I can make it through. I won't be haunted by the online wish satisfier. Webcam HD. Was it Webcam HD? Was that the name of the... Yeah, Webcam HD XYZ. What a guy. Thanks, Webcam HD XYZ, if you're still in the chat. Sorry I had to ban you, but we don't do that here. Where are we? Agrain's expression turned somber. I think you know what I wish to speak about. Jared did know. About Malene. She was supposed to be a part of our deception, said Agrain. It seems she has become more than that. I've noticed it as well, Jared was forced to admit. It's not wise for her to become so involved, my friend. Jared shrugged. You've seen how the Green Lantern acts, how he carries himself, how he springs into battle against terrible odds without a moment's hesitation. Is it any wonder that Malene has become infatuated with him? John Stewart isn't one of us, Agrain reminded him sternly. He's not of this world. He was brought here for one purpose and one purpose only, to rid Aran of Evil Star. Jared sighed. I know. She's your niece, said Agrain. Speak to her. I have, said Jared. Then speak to her again. For her own sake, see to it that she keeps her emotions in check. Jared nodded. I will do my best. And he would. He was, after all, a man of his word. But he had seen the look on Malene's face when the Green Lantern flew through her open window. If that look was any indication, he would have a hard time making his niece see reason. At night, the bot just appears at the foot of your bed. Oh no. Penny, are you webcam HD XYZ? Satisfying my wishes online? You're at the foot of... I guess it's not night right now, but she do be showing up there at night. Penny. Why did you never tell me you could satisfy my wishes online? She's so confused. God. She fucking pissed on my hand last night. That was a whole thing. She does this thing anytime I turn the shower on, where she gets excited about the fact that there's running water, and she went in to check out what was going on, and as I was walking back into the bathroom from like grabbing a towel or something, did I just call her Emmy? No, she's Penny. I didn't call her Emmy. But as I was walking back into the bathroom, she was like kind of spooked by me coming in, and decided she wanted to try to get out. But I was just like, nah, you know, you're enjoying looking at the water. Like, let me get you up closer to it. And so I went to pick her up, and I think with her being spooked, and with her thinking, oh no, the water's running, they're going to put me in it, she just decided to start peeing. And peed all over my hand and the bathroom floor, and just... If only I had a genie to satisfy my wish online and turn the time back to where that wouldn't have happened, but so it goes. Spam bots and cats, the same beings, truly. Oh, I miss her. That's all good. But yeah, so that was a story from yesterday. That was not a fun time, but Sissy got a good laugh out of it. Where was I? I guess at the right there, yeah, at the page break. Has anyone told you how awesome and inspired you are yet today? Because you freaking are. Thank you for all the incredible content. Well, hey, Tom Dylan McEvoy, thank you. That's very nice to hear. Inspiring. You know, I figured that's what you meant, but that's really sweet to hear. I do get messages to that effect from time to time, and I always love seeing them in my DMs. But I get like a weird anxiety about opening DMs, so I very much try to keep that specifically to like, you know, people that I actually know and or are trying to work with. But like, yeah, no, getting it in the chat here is great. Thank you. That's very kind of you. I'm glad you're here with us. I've heard a certain spam bot has been classified as element 6, the cat element, so it's not a huge stretch. I don't know what that sentence means, but okay. Evil Star floated high over the lofty towers of Chephathia, his dark blue cloak snapping viciously under the lash of the wind. He looked down on the ruin that had been his statue. What had once been a mighty tribute to him was nothing more than dust and pebbles. First the prison, Evil Star thought with a rush of anger, and now this. Clearly he had taken his newfound adversaries too lightly. When he saw what they had done in Deshiri, he had believed he was still dealing with rebels, a more powerful variety of them perhaps, but rebels nevertheless. Now he realized that his adversaries were a different breed altogether. They were just built different. They weren't just trying to free one nation or another from Evil Star's grasp. They were taunting him, trying to expose the chinks in his armor, trying to make him look bad. And it wasn't difficult to figure out why. If they could still give the people hope, the people might rise up against him, and they would be much more difficult to crush if they fought him together rather than separately. Evil Star would still triumph over them in any case. He would still become Auran's undisputed ruler, but why allow the path of his ambition to become any more arduous than it had to be? He again eyed the rubble on the ground below, and his fists clenched in their purple gloves. He had to destroy the ones responsible for this, and he had to do it quickly, so they would never have a chance to mock him this way again. But Evil Star still had to know who his adversaries were. He still had to find them. Fortunately, that wouldn't be a problem. In Deshiri, the prison breakout had occurred without witnesses. The only ones who had seen what happened were the prisoners themselves, and they weren't exactly available for questioning. The situation here in Chephathia was a different one entirely. There had to have been witnesses aplenty. All Evil Star had to do was find them and make them talk, and he would do that with pleasure. Bada bing, bada boom, chapter 10. Anybody hear the rumors that there may be a Batman Beyond Lego set releasing soon? Oh, that'd be really cool. The spam bot is a Zeta prototype. Damn, it could be. Since I just finished that chapter, I'm gonna run to the restroom real quick and grab a water, because my Bragg organic apple cider vinegar refreshers prebiotic, your daily dose of wellness, honey and green tea is empty now. So I'm gonna grab water, run to the restroom real quick. I will be right back. Let me put you all on standby. Hey, I'm back. Hello. I was grabbing a water and going to the restroom while we were in between chapters. But I'm back. Penny is here. Penny, come say hello to the people. Tell them hi. Say hello. Do you want to get real close to the camera? Tell them hi. It's okay, Penny, I have you. I know. You're a little spooked anytime I pick you up. Just don't pee on me again, okay? Thank you. Love you. You are a good kitty. I was gonna say you're my favorite, but you and Archer are both really good. But yeah, I am back. Of course, picking up Penny gets cat hair back all over me, and that's never any fun. Ugh. I think there's some in my mouth. I need to get like a cat allergy vaccine. I'm sure that doesn't exist, but anything to make my love of animals not be a form of self-harm would be nice. Oi. Let's see. Would you like to see a DC project in which the heroes with masks actually had white lenses consistently in live action? I feel like that would kind of take away from a lot of the way that the actors would be able to emote when acting. That's just my take, though. But yeah, with that covered, let's move into chapter 10. If I can get all this cat hair out of my mouth. At John's insistence, Malene had agreed to appear before the council with him. After all, he had said her suggestions and her insights had been invaluable to his work. He had come to depend on them every bit as much as he depended on his ring. So she went with him. But as they entered the chamber, she couldn't help remembering the advice her uncle had given her just before John got back from Japhathia. The council is concerned, my child, and I am more concerned than any of them. You cannot allow yourself to fall in love with the Green Lantern. She wasn't doing that, Malene had told him. She was just doing what she had agreed to do in order to save their world. But she had lied to her uncle, hadn't she? She was falling in love. She hadn't asked for it or expected it, but it was coming over her just the same. White lenses in live action would look more like a horror movie than anything else, TBH. I mean, there are some that I feel like you could do, like a horror movie with superheroes and shit. But yeah, I just personally, I don't see it being a thing that would work out too well. Not to say that it can't be done, but that's just my opinion on it. Welcome, said Igraine, smiling as he looked at John. Then he turned his gaze on Malene. There was just the slightest hint of disapproval in it. Both of you, he added politely. Thank you, the Green Lantern replied, his voice striking echoes off the walls. I've come to speak with you about our next step. He looked more confident than ever, Malene thought, but then he had a couple of victories under his belt. And the more time he spent on Aran, the more he studied the Council's database, the better he knew the place. We've hit Evil Star and we've hit him hard, John said. But if we let up now, even a little bit, we'll lose our momentum. We've got to come up with a stunt that will really get the people's attention. Darmak frowned. It will be difficult to strike a blow more impressive than those you already have. Impossible, perhaps, said Jaffo. No, said Igraine, his voice echoing throughout the chamber. John is right. He must do something that shows once and for all his disdain for Evil Star's power. But what? Asked Jared. The council leaned back in their chairs and fell silent. They weren't used to thinking along these lines. For a long time, they had been concerned only with the Skrea's defense. Now they were being asked to change direction and go on the offensive. Malene considered the question too. In fact, she had been considering it since John returned from Japhathia. What could John do that would undermine Evil Star even more than the liberation of his prisoners or the loss of his statue? How could the Green Lantern top what he had already accomplished? Suddenly, an idea came to Malene. "His communication center," she said in a whisper. Everyone looked at her. "I beg your pardon?" Grain replied. "His communication center," Malene repeated. This time, she spoke loudly enough for everyone in the chamber to hear her. "Evil Star's communication center."
"What is that?"
Or
"What is that?"
John asked her. "You've seen Evil Star on the trans video receiver when he wants to address all the nations he's conquered?" John nodded.
"Yes."
"He sends out those messages from a communication center in Pajera, the capital of Poyage." Darmak's eyes lit up. "I see what you mean. John could destroy the facility with his ring. That would leave Evil Star without a way to speak to his subjects." "But only for a little while," Jaffo said. "He would eventually build another communication center somewhere else, or perhaps in the very same place." That wasn't what she had meant. "You don't understand," Malene told him. But John did. She could see it in his eyes.
"Malene's not talking about destroying the place," he said. "She's talking about using it."
She smiled. He had come to know her well in the short time they had been together. "John's right," she told the council. "I'm saying he can take advantage of the communication center to broadcast a message to the people of Auran." "And it will be that much more impressive," said Jared, picking up her train of thought, "because he will be sending it with the help of Evil Star's own facility." Malene nodded. "Exactly." The council considered the idea for a moment. "It may be just the thing we need," Grain concluded. MCU Spider-Man and Deadpool both pull it off well, IMO. Yeah, though I do think there's a difference in like the way Marvel does their masks and the way that DC does it. Right? Like, I'm thinking about DC folks in masks who have movies right now, and like you've got Batman, you've got Flash, but unlike Spider-Man and Deadpool, whose entire faces are covered, Batman and the Flash have those face cutouts, so you're still seeing the mouth, and if you take the eyes away, it leaves something to be desired. I would think. Like I said, it's not that it can't be done. It's just doing it would take a little bit of changing around, and I don't know necessarily how well that would work for DC stuff. I'm trying to think of like a DC character that has like a full face mask, and I'm blanking right now, and I'm sure there's like a really obvious one, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it could work, but I think you would just have to find the right characters to do it with. Maybe the Blue Beetle. Well, even then, Blue Beetle I feel like has like eyes in his like whole scarab suit and everything. So I don't know. I would have to sit on the question and find you'd need the squinty action like Robin and Teen Titans. Yeah. I mean that could maybe cover it and make it work. But I just think if the mouth is already out, that like taking the eyes away is gonna be interesting. Like a little more difficult to do. The question. Yeah, put white lenses on the question. Just no facial features, but give him white lenses. Where was I?
It is,
the Green Lantern told him. He tossed an approving look in Malene's direction.
It's perfect.
No, she thought, it wasn't. If it were perfect, there wouldn't be any possibility of John's being destroyed before he could get the message off. She knew there would be an incredible amount of risk involved in seizing control over the communications center. Of course, John's other missions had involved risks as well, But this one was even more daring, even more defiant, and having been burned twice, Evil Star would be that much more vigilant. For all Malene knew, he had set traps for John wherever the tyrant thought John might strike next. Then it's settled, said Igraine. When do you leave? John shrugged.
As soon as I learn what I need to know about the place.
He glanced at Malene.
It shouldn't take more than an hour, I think.
An hour, she confirmed. Then he would be gone again, and she would be forced to sit by the window and watch for his return, and try to convince herself that he was just an unwitting servant of her people, not a man she was coming to love. Let's see, what do we got? We got Pajera and Poyage as spots, as places here in this chapter. Chapter 10. God, how do I spell that? Pajara and Poyage? Two A's. And let's see, we already had Darmak and Joffo and, right? Yeah. Oh hey, is that a sub that I'm hearing in my ears? Let's roll the tape. Onigiri-chan, hey, if you're in the chat, welcome aboard. Oh, look at that! It's notifying me that when Trace said the question, it was a first-time chat for them. Hey, well, welcome to the chat, Trace. Who'd be a CGI alien face? Clearly the white lenses on the most obvious character to have them. Wonder Woman. Give white lenses to Power Girl. The costume of the question would be not quite the same. Ain't that the truth? Where were we? Oh, I'm moving a little too far ahead. That's fine. I was just trying to see how many pages we got left. Sissy's making burgers, and I'm excited to have a burger. John swept through the seemingly endless darkness, looking for the distant glow that would be the city of Pajera. The gloom through which he flew reminded him of the stakes he was playing for. If he failed in his efforts, if Escrea fell like the rest of Auran, the stars might never be seen again. It would always be like this. Always. Never changing. Children might be born and live their entire lives without ever seeing the sun, without knowing it was ever any different. In darkest night, ... Yeah, I just got on Twitch. Well, hey, glad to have you. The words just popped into John's head, as something similar had popped into his head when he was sitting in his house back in Escreana. Again, he had the uncomfortable feeling that he had heard it before, but couldn't remember any of the details. Then he was forced to put the subject aside, because as he flew past the shoulder of a mountain, he saw Pajera. It looked just as the database had described it. It was an older city, not as elegant as Chafathia or Escreana. Its towers were smaller and squatter. Still, it had a certain charm to it, a certain hominess with its soft lighting and its vibrant colors and its winding streets. The communications center was on the outskirts of Pajera, a modern building made of metal instead of stone. It looked out of place among its neighbors, but that only made it easier for John to spot. He wasted no time zeroing in on his objective. Extending his right hand, he sent a blast of green energy plowing through the nearest wall. Then he went plunging through the hole he had made, ignoring the dust and debris that still filled the air. There were workers inside, open-mouthed and frightened, but John had no time to reassure them, to tell them that he was on their side. Not if he was going to pull this off. Following the floor plan he had found in the council's database, he arrowed through one corridor and then another, and finally, he came to the room where the center's broadcast originated. There were workers there too, technicians in the midst of checking out their equipment. John wondered if that meant Evil Star was due to arrive soon for another of his trans video messages.
"Move!"
he barked, but the technicians just stood there. John didn't want to hurt them. He knew they were just acting out of fear of what Evil Star might do to them, but he also didn't have any time to spare. Training his ring on the technicians, he made a wedge and moved them out of his way. Then still holding them there, he took up a position at the center's U-shaped metal control console. The controls were labeled with symbols, so they weren't difficult for John to understand. One long red stud turned on the camera in front of him. A blue one activated the communications network and sent the signal out to the rest of Arian. First, he swiveled the camera around so it pointed to him. Then, he pressed the necessary buttons. When he saw a red light go on above the camera, John knew that his image was being transmitted to cities all over Arian. It was time for him to show the Arianites that the legends were true. There was hope for them. They had a champion in their struggle against Evil Star.
"My name is John," he told them. "I'm a person, just like you. And like you, I'm tired of Evil Star's tyranny."
He glanced at the bank of security monitors against one wall. There wasn't any sign of Evil Star or his starlings on them. So far, so good, John told himself. TNBA Joker, but with white lenses. Oh god. Oh god, I don't know that I could handle that. That's too much for this world. Boy.
It may have seemed to you that Evil Star is unbeatable. He may have made you believe that you had no choice but to obey him. But I'm not obeying him. I'm defying him.
Again, he checked the monitors. Evil Star hadn't shown up yet. He still had some time. Making use of it, he said,
"I'm standing here in Evil Star's own communication center, and he hasn't stopped me. Why? Because he can't be everywhere at once."
Finally, John saw something on the monitor. It was just a speck in the sky, or maybe a number of specks all bunched together, but either way, he knew what it meant. Evil Star was on his way.
"I can't beat him by myself," John said, "but if we all work together, even Evil Star is no match for us. We can beat him. We just have to work at it."
And with that, he pressed the button that cut off the broadcast. The specks were gradually growing larger on the screen. Soon they would arrive at the communications center. John didn't want to meet them inside, where innocent people might get hurt. Dropping the wedge that held the technicians in place, he used his ring to punch a hole in the nearest wall. According to the database, that would get him outside. When he saw darkness, he knew that the database had been accurate. Darting through the makeshift exit he had created, John rocketed skyward at an angle, trying to put as much distance between himself and the city as possible. The wind of his passage stung his eye. So it's one of those. Wind or wind of his passages. Time for a good plan. But not so badly that he couldn't scan the heavens for Evil Star. According to the monitors in the communication center, the Conqueror was somewhere close by. But where? Where could... "No evil shall escape my sight. ... Timm Joker with white lenses. Oh god. No, I'm not entertaining the idea. Not allowed. Now where had that come from? It was as if the words had been perched on the edge of his mind, waiting for just the right moment to peck at him. This was getting to be a habit. John knew someone had uttered that phrase to him, but as hard as he tried to remember, he didn't know who or under what circumstances. Suddenly, he heard something. It was a flapping noise, the sound a flag might make if it were accosted by a stiff wind. No, he thought, a chill running up and down his spine. Not a flag, a cape. Looking back over his shoulder, he saw something coming after him. Something knifing through the darkness with breathtaking speed. John spun about and braced himself for a headlong assault. Then, the flying figure stopped. Just like that, as if breaking in midair were the easiest thing in the world, and hovered there. John studied his enemy, ready for anything. He wore a dark purple uniform, blue boots, and a blue cape that billowed majestically in the wind, and his face was covered with a star-shaped mask, the color of blood. John's eyes narrowed as he said the man's name.
Evil Star.
And that is where we end today's reading. How many chapters are in this book? We got chapter 11 all the way through... Oh, there's an epilogue. Okay. So 11, 12, 13, 14, and an epilogue. So that's like 5 chapters left. So we have like 2 weeks of this book left. That's not too bad. It just depends on when we'll get the streams back up and running. Because if you missed it earlier, and have been in the chat without knowing why the stream is named this way, this is the last stream we're doing here in this current apartment in Seattle. Next week, Sissy and I are moving to Oregon. We're going to be about a 20-minute drive away from James, finally. And like, we're going to be able to work on a lot cooler stuff for videos and shit like that. Really excited about all of that. But as part of the move, we're going to be on hiatus for a little while because of the fact that, you know, I got to get settled in the new place. We have jobs lined up down there that we got to start working on a regular basis. And so while my schedule's been very lax as a result of the pandemic and quarantine and being able to you know, survive with unemployment and everything for a while, with this move, all that's gone. No more free schedule. So we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna make it to where we can keep doing the DCAU book clubs and everything. But it might take a little while at first. My wish is for more amazing Watchtower database content, and I have no doubt it will be satisfied. Yes, it will be. Our next video out, for those of you who are interested in knowing, is going to be our breakdown of the most recent Batman The Adventures Continue and Justice League Infinity in one video. They both came out like as we were working on really, really fucking big story videos all together. I'm talking big to the point where like we probably spent upwards of $1,000 on putting this together between plane tickets, hotel rooms, costuming, like shooting locations, all that kind of stuff. And that's not even the half of it because we got to get like a voice actor and an animator and all kinds of stuff. And so those videos ended up coming a little late, and so we're just putting them together as one video next week. And then the week after that is going to be the Halloween extravaganza. I shot the first half of it yesterday. I'm playing 2 separate characters, and so I shot one character yesterday, and I'll be shooting the other character tonight. And we're like, God, this is I'm really excited about this one. I've had a lot of fun writing it. I've had a lot of fun shooting it, like visualizing everything that's going on, and I'm hoping like it's on properties that like James isn't too familiar with, so like I had to go through and like footnote every little single thing in the script. And I'm really hoping that like with his editing skills that he's gonna, you know, at least be able to go and look at the footnotes and be like, okay, got it. I know how this video needs to be, and I'm really excited for that. I did shot the script. I shot the script, but I did not shoot the deputy. Maddie heading on the Oregon Trail. Safe travels. We're actually like really close to where like the Lewis and Clark expedition ended, so that's pretty interesting. But yeah, yeah, so that is this is basically it for today. Sissy's got some burgers going for us. Some God, I think they're the Impossible Burgers, and they're delicious. So I'm excited to go bounce and eat those. But Maddie, if you're closer to James, there's a chance he'll lock you up in his basement again. The story finale is going to deal with that, and I'm excited for y'all to see what happens. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and bounce. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your day, wonderful weekend. I'm gonna go eat this burger and maybe pack a couple more things. We're so close to done with packing. Like, the majority of stuff left is like last minute stuff, but you know, it's getting to be the last minute. So yeah, but y'all take care. I'll see y'all, you know, if not in a stream in the next couple weeks, you'll at least see me in the Halloween video. And of course, if you want to keep up with me while I'm not streaming, my Twitter handle is @MaddieWashburn. My Instagram is @ExecutiveProducerDickWolf. If you try to add me on Facebook, I will not accept it. But I'm also in the Watchtower Database Discord, which if you're not in there, hold on. Let me see server settings. Where are the invites that are live? Live invites. There we go. Let me grab. Can I use this one? Invite code. Why is it not letting me grab the invite code? Whatever. Oh, I can make a new invite, I guess. Wait, why is the code not showing up? Where are the invites? Invite people. Hidden. Use copy button. Ooh, okay. There we go. If you want to join us on Discord, that's where we are. But yeah, let's see. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. You too. That was fun. Yes, agreed. Love you, Maddie. That was. Oh, they sent out an order. That's weird. But yeah, y'all have a great weekend. I will catch y'all later. Goodbye.